బడ్జెట్ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుని వికసిత్ భారత్ 2047ని గుర్తులో పెట్టుకుని కంటిన్యూస్గా ఏదైతే జరుగుతున్నదో ఇప్పుడు దాన్ని కంటిన్యూ చేయాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో పెట్టారు. సో జనరల్గా బడ్జెట్ చాలా మంచిది ఇండియా ఎకానమీ గ్రోత్కి. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్మోస్ట్ 7-8% దాకా ఉంది. జీడిపి కూడా పెరగడానికి ఉంది కాబట్టి చేశారు. ఈ సందర్భంగా ముద్ర అదేదైతే ఇచ్చారో అది చాలా మంచిది. కానీ ముద్రలో కొంచెం వాళ్ళు ఇంకా హోంవర్క్ చేసుకుని ఆ వెనకాల ఎవరికి జనరల్గా ముద్ర బెనిఫిట్ రావాలో వాళ్ళకి చేరితే మంచిది. ఆ 20 lakhs 10 lakhs నుంచి 20 lakhs స్కీమ్ చేసింది, అది బాగుంటుంది. అండ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ జనరేట్ చేశారు. ప్లస్ భారతదేశంలో టూరిజం ఫోకస్ చేస్తే చాలా రెవెన్యూ పెరుగుతుంది, మన ఎకానమీ కూడా పెరుగుతుంది. అది దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుని టూరిజం కూడా ఈసారి బెనిఫిట్ చేశారు. బయట నుంచి ఎవరైనా వచ్చినా కూడా అది సో జనరల్గా బడ్జెట్ బాగానే ఉంది బేసిక్గా. అండ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఇంప్రూవ్ చేశారో, ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్కి ఆ స్కీమ్స్ పెట్టి చేశారో, దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇండియన్స్కి మన వాళ్ళకి ఉద్యోగం ఇచ్చుకోవడానికి బాగా కుదురుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ అన్ అడ్వాంటేజ్. ఈవెన్ ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ కానివ్వండి, ఐటీ ఫీల్డ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గ్రో అవుతున్నది. కానీ దాంతోపాటు మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ కూడా ముందర తీసుకెళ్లాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో వెళ్ళినందుకు బడ్జెట్ ఓవరాల్గా మంచిది. మన స్టేట్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుంటే ఈ బేసిక్గా బడ్జెట్ మన తెలంగాణ స్టేట్కి ఎక్కడిపోయి హైదరాబాద్ బెంగళూరు కారిడోర్ని బాగా డెవలప్ చేయాలనుకున్నారు, అది మనకు లాభం. రెండోది సిఎస్ఆర్ ఫండ్స్ ఇప్పటిదాకా 10% ఎక్కడన్నా స్పెండ్ చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. కానీ ఈసారి ఏం చేశారంటే ఈ బడ్జెట్లో సిఎస్ఆర్ ఫండ్స్కి ఇంటర్న్స్ని మన సొంత కంపెనీలో మనం తీసుకుని దానికి ఖర్చు ఏదైతే అవుతుందో అది కూడా సిఎస్ఆర్ ఫండ్ నుంచి వాడుకోవచ్చు. ముందర అది ఉండేది కాదు. సిఎస్ఆర్ ఫండ్ ఓన్లీ సోషల్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఆల్ ఓవర్ ద కంట్రీ. కానీ లోకల్గా ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ జనరేషన్ చేయాలనే దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుని సిఎస్ఆర్ ఫండ్ ఏదైతే చేశారో దాంట్లో లోకల్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ని తీసుకుని దాంట్లో 10% దాకా వాడుకోవచ్చు అన్నారు. అది కూడా మంచి బెనిఫిట్.
Women Empowerment Committee Chairperson of FTCCI, Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce and Industries. So I welcome this budget. Since Finance Minister is women, I really appreciate her efforts to empower women, and they have given 3 lakh crore for women-centric schemes, which will definitely boost our economy, will definitely boost women's progress in the country. And increasing mudra loan from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs is really welcoming step. Most of the mudra loan beneficiaries are ladies, so I welcome this. And as our Prime Minister is inclined towards the upliftment of women, this budget is of women centric, poor, youth and kisan centric. We welcome this budget. This will definitely boost IT industries also, especially electronic industries. So there are rebates in custom duty, and they have given some incentives for the industry also. Actually, it is not clear. They have given funds for infrastructure. More than 11.11 lakh crores they have allotted for infrastructure. So definitely there will be share of Telangana also. Yes, for Andhra they have given for this capital outlay they have given more funds. They have reduced the custom duty on gold, silver and platinum. So it's welcoming step for ladies, because in our India we are inclined towards buying gold, silver and platinum. So it's good. Thank you so much.
I am Suresh Kumar Singhal, President, the Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Hyderabad. Today, we have listened to the budget presented by our Finance Minister Sitharaman ji. It is her 7th consecutively budget which has been presented today, and it is a very good budget, and it is a budget for Viksit Bharat. Up to 2047 they have curated this budget, and overall budget is very good for industries, MSME sector, small scale industries, and for women, for girls, for our youths. 1 crore youths is going to be benefited out of this budget schemes. And there are the physical deficit has been brought down, and it is a 4.9% of the total GDP of our country. Telangana, especially, they have not mentioned anything, but they have allotted some 1.5 lakh crore for infrastructure like roads. They have allotted. Thank you.
I am Sudhir, Chartered Accountant and the Direct Tax Committee Chair of the Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Today, the budget has been presented by the Union Finance Minister. This is the second budget for the year where a lot of allocations and the tax proposals has been given. Overall, it is a very good and a progressive budget. Unlike the other budgets where more focus would be on welfare scheme and freebies, here the focus was more on creation of skilling, employment and the industrialization. This budget is a roadmap for the upcoming 5 trillion economy, where they are looking at giving a special permissions for the industrial parks, industrial corridors, infrastructure spend. They have also looked at promoting the agriculture. Kisan credit cards has been looked at promoting in more states. So it's a overall budget where they have looked at every aspects of it. In coming to the direct tax proposal, there is a change in the tax slabs, which will reduce the tax payment of up to 17,500 per annum for individual, which is a welcome move. And also for salaried employees, there is a standard deduction increased from 50,000 to 75,000, which is a welcome move. There is no much thing for an automobiles here. Coming to the rate changes, GST rate proposals has not been presented in this budget. The rate rationalization committee is still working on it. Maybe in the next budget we will see some rationalization. Here there are some reduction in the customs rate, mobile phone and gold, which may be a common consumption for most of us, could look at some reduction of the rate.
Very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Mohammad Irshad Ahmad. I am the chairman of GST and Customs Committee at Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industries. So today Finance Minister has presented her 7th budget, and we have noted that there are no significant changes in the budget, yet there are certain key sectors which are under stress presently and has been addressed by the Finance Minister, particularly with respect to the unemployed youth. And in order to generate the employment, the Finance Minister has proposed the 15,000 rupees per month, one-time reimbursement of the salary. We are yet to see the complete modalities of these incentives. And in addition to that, the Finance Minister has also proposed reimbursement of about 3,000 rupees EPFO with respect to each employee. And there is also a proposal of 4 years incentives for the employment generation. And another focus area, and which is under stress presently, is the MSME sector. And MSME sector is critical for the Atmanirbhar Bharat and also the Make in India campaign, which the government of India has taken up. And also we should note that there are about 56 crores working population in India, and the share of manufacturing sector is about 11.5% out of 56,000 crores of the population. And there is a need to increase the share of manufacturing sector. And in this direction, the MSME sector has been addressed to provide for collateral-free loans, so that for those MSMEs who want to take the start, they will get the loans without any hassles, less documentation, without any collateral, without any security, with some safeguards. And also those MSMEs which are under stress due to various reasons, so they are also being considered for rescuing them by way of special incentives and loans. And when it comes to the indirect taxes proposals, for the GST, the major proposals have already been announced by the GST Council about 2 months back. There is no mentioning about GST in this Finance Minister's speech. However, we are expecting some legal law changes in the GST. But when it comes to customs, I think the focus of the Finance Minister is very clear, that they want to boost the domestic manufacturing and as well as to boost exports from India. And in this direction, the Finance Minister has proposed reduction of basic customs duties on certain essential items like mobile phones and certain critical components which are required in solar manufacturing, and also rare earth minerals. Import of rare earth minerals, the basic customs duty has been cut. So this is with respect to the climate control and environment safeguard, because rare earth minerals are very critical in nuclear reactors and for generation of nuclear carbon-free electricity. And what we missed out is we wanted to see more on energy security, given the fact that there are geopolitical conflicts around us, particularly with respect to Russia-Ukraine war and also the Palestine and Israel war. We are seeing disruption in supplies, especially the crude oils. So far, the India has secured itself by getting into favorable contracts and support from the Russia. But going forward, if the scale of these conflicts multiplies, then in what way we are prepared to secure our energy, and what way we are prepared to contain the inflation is the question. And on fiscal deficit perspective, right now the finance minister has targeted 4.9% of the physical deficit, with an overall target of 4.5% physical deficit, which is a welcome move. So far so good compared to the other economies, other countries. And lastly, the skill development of the unemployed youth. As per the economic reforms, economic survey, that report that has been tabled, one out of two graduates that come out of the university are not readily employable in any industry. That is because they lack the critical skills for being employed. So in this direction, the finance minister has proposed setting up of or giving special grants for the vocational training institutes, and also for the apprenticeship program for joining for these unemployed youth, so that they can work up to 1 year in any industry, generate the required skills, and also the apprenticeship will be reimbursed to them. So I think we may witness a lot of positive outcome with these proposals in coming days. We should wait and watch, and we welcome this budget with open hands, and we hope that this budget will bring more laurels in coming days. పెట్రోల్ అండ్ డీజిల్ మీద ఈ బడ్జెట్ లో ప్రపోజల్ ఏం లేదు. తర్వాత మనం గమనించాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, ఈ బడ్జెట్ లో ఈ మధ్య రావట్లేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ మార్కెట్ లింక్డ్. ఎక్సైజ్ డ్యూటీ ఏదైతే ఉన్నదో పెట్రోల్ అండ్ డీజిల్ లో మార్కెట్ లింక్ ఉంది కాబట్టి, so it is not linked to budget anymore. Then government is taking decisions time to time with respect to increase or decrease of the excise duties. So ఈ బడ్జెట్ వల్ల మేమైతే పెద్దగా ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నది ఏం లేదు పెట్రోల్ అండ్ డీజిల్ లో. But we have seen the stock markets have crashed today, a little crash. That is because there is an increase of capital gains on financial assets, financial securities. Capital gain tax increase అయింది, securities transaction tax increase అయింది, దానివల్ల స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ క్రాష్ అయింది. బట్ దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో వెరీ ఎసెన్షియల్, ఎందుకంటే there is a huge exposure to derivative instruments, and the economic survey has also hinted that this type of exposure to derivative instruments is very risky for the economy. Tomorrow, if there is a burst, then many people will lose their precious money, and it is not healthy for the economy. The ratio of derivatives exposure to the GDP is also quite huge. I think in this direction, the government has taken this step to increase the tax so that the exposure to derivatives will come down. So that is what we are thinking. Thank you.
Myself, Prem Kankaria. I am chairman of Banking, Insurance and Finance Committee of the Federation. Budget overall is growth oriented, towards employment generator, towards agriculture. Lot of incentive scheme and funds are provided for improving the agriculture and rural economy. Towards the youth, it will ultimately results when employment is provided. Lot of youth will be in mainstream of that, which is required by India having a 130 crore population. So we give out of 10, 9 marks to this budget, which will be overall, every section of the society will get benefit, including tourism, manufacturing sector, youth, employment, and our brothers in industry also. Farming, this was the agriculture. Lot of things have been provided for agriculture. They want to bring innovation, they want to bring digitalization in economy, they want to put some research center where new technology can be developed for farming sector. A lot of funds has been provided, because agriculture has been a first priority sector for this government. So disposable income will also increase, rural economy will also, so that migration from rural to city will not be there, and the people will get job and income in the rural sector itself.